Hello, welcome back to our Lent course where we're reading through John's Gospel. Well done for making it back. I hope you enjoy chapter 1. Now, this next week coming, we're going to be reading a chapter a day from John chapter 2 through to John chapter 6. Now, in John chapter 5, there's this really helpful verse which I hope will help us to understand a bit of what these chapters are about. It's chapter 5, verse 24. It says, "Very truly I tell you, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life and will not be judged, but has crossed over from death to life." This is Jesus speaking. It ends in a wonderful promise of having eternal life. But before that, he says, "Whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me." So there's two things there. We believe, we hear the word of Jesus, and we believe the Father who sent Jesus. So both those things are about Jesus. Are we going to hear the words that he says? And are we going to believe that the Father has sent him? Are we going to believe that he truly is the Son of God who has been sent by the Father? And that's what we see in this chapter, these few chapters. We could think of it as a testimony. We think in our world today about we're building a picture of truth by laying down bits of evidence, and the more evidence we have that points to a certain truth, the more we are to believe it. And John talks in terms of testimony. That word comes up a lot, to testify. And in this we see that Jesus' miracles testify about him. It's a little bit of evidence about who he is. We see that when Jesus speaks, his speech testifies about him. We see John the Baptist coming up in these chapters. John the Baptist testifies about Jesus. The Samaritan woman testifies about Jesus. The paralysed man, he gives testimony about Jesus. Jesus himself testifies about himself. And in chapter 5 as well, Jesus says that the scriptures, they testify about me. So all these testimonies and bits of evidence are building up and building up. And it's a wonderful collection of witnesses of people. And John captures this amazing variety. We see religious people and irreligious people. We see wealthy people and we see poor people, men and women, people from all sorts of walks of life. And we see a mixture of responses of people to meeting Jesus. We see some Jewish leaders who respond badly and want to persecute Jesus. We meet a Samaritan woman, and her whole town respond amazingly positively towards Jesus. They believe in him. And we also meet this guy called Nicodemus, who's sort of in the middle. He's not quite sure how he's responding. He's still thinking these things through. So as you read these chapters, know that John is bringing testimony. He's testifying to you about Jesus, that he has been sent from the Father, that he is the Son of God. And this picture builds and builds. And that is wonderful, isn't it? Because we believe these things about having eternal life and what will happen in the future. But our faith is not blind. It is based on real evidence. And as we read, we can see those things for ourselves. And the amazing thing about reading John, and I think the way he writes is so wonderful, in that there will be things that you will read in this next week that you may well know already. And that is a wonderful thing. Please be reassured at those simple truths, and John would love to remind you of them again. But the amazing thing about John is he explains things that are really simple that we can see, but there are also amazing gems. And every time I come to John amazing things jump out. So do be on the lookout at some of the depth in this gospel as well. So happy reading this week. Do keep on persevering and be on the lookout for these testimonies about Jesus, and be reassured at who he is and that you can have life in his name.